Why has Gran Turismo abandoned PSVR2? I don't think that's a controversial statement. In fact, if you agree with that, already give me a thumbs up in the comments to let me know you're part of the PSVR2 army that's just like, what is going on? This is potentially the best VR racing game you can get, and they already did such a great job with Gran Turismo 7 when they added PSVR2. Let me explain what's going on. PSVR2 is added to Gran Turismo 7 at launch of the PSVR2 headset. This is a year after Gran Turismo 7 has come out. And unbelievably, Gran Turismo 7 just adds PSVR2 natively. So there's no actual menu you go into for VR. It's just you put your headset on, and when you go into a race, you're automatically there in VR. It works on every single car. A handful of like unusual things with cars that don't have cockpits, but basically every single car, every single track. You also have a VR showroom mode where you can go around the car and look at the car and sit in the car and everything. So, to start off with, great. Absolutely no complaints about the implementation. It's still, for me, I think one of the best games you can get on PSVR2, and it was only added by way of a post-release patch, so pretty cool. Where did it all go wrong? So, there are some issues with PSVR2 on Gran Turismo 7 that might sound like relatively small issues, but they're issues that actually stop people using it. Like myself, I have a PSVR2 headset connected to my PS5 at all times. I'm able to stream in PSVR2. That's not a problem for me. I've got it all set up, and yet I don't use it as much as I'd like. It's not my default experience. The main reason is you're at a competitive disadvantage when you're using PSVR2. So you don't get certain information about the cars around you. You don't, for example, get the gaps of the cars ahead and behind you, which is a critical thing when you're doing a race. Like, you need to know if you're closing or you're losing ground. You could say it's not super realistic, but you have all of the other HUD with you inside the car, so you don't get that. You also don't get to see pit stops when people are taking pit stops, how far they're dropping behind, etc. You don't get that as well. Now, this does actually bring a weird opportunity for streamers like myself, which is I've done what I call reality mod races, where I just turn off the whole HUD in PSVR2, and my chat becomes the race engineers, and they're letting me know in my ear what lap I'm on, what they think the gaps are, what the strategy should be. And that is an otherworldly experience that actually makes me feel like I'm a racing driver with a whole strategy team. That's very exciting. But we're only doing that because it's not giving us the basic information. So that is a big thing. If you're at a competitive disadvantage, people are not going to use PSVR2. There's another point as well that is more for beginners, I would say, but equally as important, which is that you don't actually get your inputs in VR. And I would say it's more important that you get inputs in VR than when you're looking on a flat screen TV. To let you know what I mean, normally in 2D you get to see your throttle position and your brake position, and also the movement of your wheel or the controller that you're using. Because in PSVR2 you can't actually see your legs, you can't see your real legs or your hands, you don't really know if you're braking 100%. And something I often do when I'm doing some practice laps is I'll go in and just make sure that I've got my threshold correct, and I know that that's what I need to do for 100%. And in 2D, I'll be glancing down, having a look at it. Okay, I know where I should be braking, what it feels like, how far I'm getting pushed back in the rig. But when it comes to a race, you can't do that, and I'm then frustrated. Don't really know. Am I missing my braking zones because I'm on the wrong tyre, or the tyre degradation is really high, or maybe things overheating when you look at the mods that I put on where you can see the tyre temperatures that you don't normally get in the game, or is it because I'm just not braking enough? It's kind of hard to tell. It's another disadvantage you get in PSVR2. Now, there are some other features as well that I think they should think about adding to PSVR2. I think they should really add actual head tracking to other drivers that are also in PSVR2. I'm sure they get the data from the headset. I'm sure through an API into the game or whatnot, they can just code that in. That would be, I think, a killer feature of PSVR2 in Gran Turismo 7. You would have PSVR2 only lobbies. You'd be racing in open Formula cars. You'd be side by side going into Eau Rouge, and you'd be kind of looking across thinking what we're going to do. You'd be following someone. You could see whether they're looking in the mirror, because remember in VR, you actually need to look in the mirror. There's no virtual mirror, and think, okay, that guy's looking on the right hand side. I'm going to do a fake out. I'm going to go on the left hand side, or they're not looking in the mirror at all. They're not that worried by me. I need to get really close. Need to do a big send here. Maybe not expecting it. That would be an absolute game changer. That for me, they need to add as well. I think they should also do car meets. They've got so many elements of this already in the game. They have the VR showroom where you can walk around the cars. One of them is already in a car park that's kind of misty and foggy. They also have the new, relatively new, sort of lobby meeting place system where you can get your car there and you can sort of see your car from top down and you can send messages and you can like appraise other people's cars. They just need to bring that together so you can be in a VR experience. You can go with your car, with your livery, with your modifications. You can roll up, you can put the throttle down, you can hear the pops and bangs, and you can have that car culture moment. Car culture is so important to the DNA of Gran Turismo. I literally can't believe this is not more of a thing because it takes the complete soul out of it. The VR showroom should be a collaborative experience where you can go around and look at cars that you want to buy and someone else is walking around saying, oh, look at this, and it looks really good from this angle, or look inside here, or look at the detailing here. So I really feel like they need to add this. And to be honest, I'm very shocked that they haven't decided to do more of the social aspect other than the meeting place. Other things they should do with VR, they have an amazing secret feature that no one really knows about, which is the VR replay, which is almost really good because you basically can watch a replay of a race in VR from vantage points. Now the problem is that the camera actually it's not that intuitive to follow the cars. So there should be a way where you can actually switch camera angle, you can direct where you want to be, you can move up a camera angle up the track, but that would be an incredible way to not only watch replays, but actually spectate live races. Can you imagine spectating live in PSVR2 the top split Nations Cup race, for example, and you're there and you're seeing the likes of Baptiste Beauvoir, Valerio Gallo, all going up Eau Rouge again, like in the rain, you know, the limit of skill. These are the best drivers and you can watch it as a live experience in PSVR2. I'm giving them all my ideas for free, but I think they're good ideas. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you've got any other ones. But I think that would be an absolutely transformative experience that, again, you could have in PSVR2. And this is why, you know, I think Gran Turismo have abandoned PSVR2. There is so much opportunity there. It's a really cool VR headset. We know there's some sort of issues going on because now you can buy an adapter or soon buy an adapter and connect it to your PC. So they want to increase the reach of people, you know, giving people more options that have bought the headset. But these are ways there for the killer app Gran Turismo 7. If they implemented half these features, they would be game changers. They would be killer quality of life features. So Gran Turismo 7, I really hope they stop abandoning PSVR2. I really hope they come with a big PSVR2 update. You see on YouTube when they do their videos, they tag them PSVR2, they write it in the title, but nothing has increased with PSVR2. There's been no additional features now for well over a year, which I find very weird. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can't wait to hear from you. PSVR2 videos around here if you want to see them, and I'll see you next time.